Is water affordable here in Portugal or not? By and large, no, it's not affordable. Especially if you use a lot of it. So here is an absolutely perfect example for you. This play park area was my veg garden, and in my first year I watered it through the mains water. Now my bill normally was about 40 to 50 euros. After watering my garden, my vegetable garden, 350 euros.
Ouch!
So yes, water is expensive out here, and if you're Portuguese, you do what you can to keep it very low, and so do I. Now I'm not entirely sure about this, but I'm sure I'm right, and if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But for example, your first 100 litres of water that you use from the mains, good for example, would be 5 cents a litre. The next 100 litres are 10 cents a litre. The next 100 litres, and it just keeps going up like that. So the more you use, not only do you pay more, but you pay a higher rate. So if you're thinking about or wanting to move to Portugal, like the Portuguese, like me, you will have the golden opportunity to make use of what Mother Nature will provide for you. Isn't that right, darling? Yes, that's right. You are so beautiful. I love you. And you would be absolutely right. How does Mother Nature provide you with water? I'm talking about one of these, a well. This is my well. It was sunk about 100 years ago. At the same time the house was built. It goes down about 30 metres to the water table. And that is how the majority of Portuguese people get their water. In this video I'm going to show you how important the water well is to my property in two areas, and this goes for the same for all Portuguese people who have got a water well, and most of them have, especially in the countryside. So the water supplies two areas. One, all the outside area, very important, and also inside the house. I'll explain and show you exactly how the water from that well reduces my water bill. I'll also show you two water bills, one with a well and one without. So if you're thinking about buying a property here in Portugal, it would be so helpful if that property had a water well. It will save you a ton of money. It doesn't matter whether it's working or not. It doesn't matter if there's a pump in it. A nice big hole in the ground is what's important. Does this well save me money? Well, let's look deeper into it. That's the winding mechanism for the pump that brings the water up from the well. It's a closed well with a concrete top, which means it's safe because nobody can fall in it, including animals, with an access hatch. Next to the well, I've got this holding tank. Not all properties will have a holding tank. Some have got really big ones, and these holding tanks serve two purposes. Obviously the water's pumped up from the well into the holding tank. The holding tank is to release water to water the gardens, but there is another purpose for it. This is a step, and it's necessary to have a step because you need to be at this height for the next task. The holding tank also serves as a washing machine. With a bar of soap, put it in the little soap holding area, scrubbing brush, your clothes, dip them in, get it all nice and wet, lather it up. Oh yes, plenty of soap in there. Wash away, yeah, rinse, wash. Oh, there's a nasty stubborn stain. There we go, got rid of that, and then away we go. I'm not going to get this in there and demonstrate it for you because it's February and it's freezing cold, so you're going to have to use your imagination. And talking about using your imagination, how about this? If you go back to the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s and even the 60s, in fact the 70s, the woman of the household would have to do all the family's washing, bedding, clothing in this, summer and winter. Now believe it or not, they still use these. I have been round to Portuguese peoples, and one time when I went round, there was the woman standing where I was, washing her knickers and bra. And that's the truth. Now, if you haven't got a nice big holding tank like this, you can buy a very special Portuguese washing machine. This is a concrete Portuguese washing machine. They're still available, you can buy them anywhere. Soap goes there, you fill it with water, scrub away, brush goes, well, just there. No, don't, slides down. No, don't, yep, wash away, and they still use them. There's the pump house for the well and for the swimming pool. That's the electric supply for both the well pump and the pool pump. And down here is the pressure vessel for supplying water to the house. From the pump house, it goes across this little bit of courtyard, the parking area, over to this point right here. And that is where it enters into the house. I've got two incoming pipes, as you can see right in the corner there. We've got a thick one and a thin one. The thin one is the mains water and the large one is the well water. There's two filters. So I can switch between well water and mains water very easily. As the well water only went to the house, I needed to get it everywhere else that I wanted. And with a bit of pipe work, that's not difficult. You can get water anywhere you want, really. So I took the supply from the laundry room through the garage. That blue pipe is the water supply coming across the courtyard into the barn area. It then drops down to feed into what is now the play park area. Then it goes round that area there, right the way down the barn area until we get to the outside kitchen. I built this outside kitchen. You can see on the wall there the pipework going down behind the washing machine. Whoa, yeah, there we go, washing machine. And now we'll go outside and I'll show you where it is and what it does. Then the water comes through the wall here, goes down and travels along that pipework there, goes around there and then comes through here to my veg garden and feeds both the polytunnel as well as all the veg garden and everywhere else I want it. It goes right over to the tent and beyond. I've also got it coming through the barn area here, feeding down to that, which then I can take a hose pipe through to put water in that swimming pool. Another additional large consumption of water are the two swimming pools, this one and the one at the front. They need constantly topping up. I wouldn't want to do that from the mains. When it comes to spring, summer and autumn, and particularly the summer here in Portugal, rainfall is, well, sparse. And if there is any, what little there is, it wouldn't make a ha'porth of difference. So all my gardening, polytunnel, my trees, my olive trees, the chickens, all of that takes up a vast amount of water. If you don't water your plants here in Portugal in the summer, they'll die. So you have to get water to them. Affording it through the mains is just not an option. That's why the well is absolutely important to me and to the Portuguese people. This is a forest very close to my house, and in this forest there are quintas, in English, small holdings, where people grow their produce, and this one here belongs to a friend of mine named Joaquin. There's no mains water supply in this forest, obviously, and even if there was, people just simply wouldn't be able to afford to use it. So for my friend Joaquin to water all of his vegetables, grapes for growing the wine, all his fruit trees, it's extracted from this well by a petrol-driven water pump. There are three main types of pump for wells: the tube pump, a bit more industrial, the float valve type, and then there's obviously the petrol engine driven pump. If you move to Portugal, want to get a pump for your well, where do you go? Right, I have arrived at Serg Alto. This is where I buy all my garden machinery, parts for it, and also any repairs that I want. Iris is the manager, I think, and she is really helpful and speaks good English. So let's go inside and see exactly what they've got and see if we can find a pump for the well. So inside the shop, we can see that we've got many things, engines, we have rotivators, lawn mowers, everything you'd absolutely want for your quinta, log splitters. How about those for ride-on rotivators? Shelves of parts for everything, and like I said, if they haven't got it, they can get it, and very quickly as well. Their workshop where they will carry out any repairs that are necessary. They've done that for me on my ride-on mower and did an absolutely fantastic job. They carry in the shop the pumps with float valves. The electric bill on the left is from a Portuguese household. It belongs to a couple. They don't grow any veg, do any gardening or have a swimming pool. Just normal household water usage, €55. On the right is my bill, €20 for the same period, and I use a vast amount of water. Now imagine if I didn't have that well. My water bill would be colossal, but I'm smart. I turn the mains off and on, so I use very little water. So there you have it. A well is a serious asset to any property here in Portugal. And if you're looking to come and live here in Portugal, I hope you have a well and I hope you make absolute fantastic use of it. If you've got any comments, anything you want to know, leave them in the comments below and I will see you in the next video. Stay well.